Hello, welcome back to the Games Kingdom. My name's Carl King, and today we're going to be looking at a very new book from Free League Publishing for the One Ring role-playing game, and that is MORIA Through the Doors of Durin. So this is another expansion for their One Ring RPG game. It's only been out about a week, and I'd like to start by saying thank you to Free League for sending me one of their physical copies, but also entrusted me to do another one of these sort of fly through videos and showing you just a little bit of what's in the book and leaving a lot of it for you to discover for yourselves. Hopefully there's a lot of you out there who've placed pre-orders and you've already had this turn up, or it's on its way to you, and if you have, that's great. If you haven't, by all means watch this video and see that if this is something that you are going to be interested in. I've also done a similar video to this, sort of just as I say, sort of flying through the One Ring main rule book. So this is, as I say, the sort of the next big book that I've been sent by them for this particular system. I've done some videos as well for their Alien RPG, and if you didn't know about that, check that out. There's plenty of other games and RPG systems that Free League have done. If you're not a fan of Tolkien or of Alien, they do others in their sort of arsenal of RPG games. So go and check it out on their on the Free League website. Every one of their systems has also got a very good download section, so you can download things for your computer like your sort of pictures, your backgrounds, and also some invaluable sort of tools, and all of the character sheets for all of the games are all free to download. If you buy the physical copy of this or any of their main books via them direct, they also send you a free PDF of that book. So I don't think that may be the case if you buy them through sort of other shops or other parties, but certainly if you get them direct from Free League itself, they do send you a PDF, and that's going to be the same for this. So that's another sort of lovely little thing that they do. They'll send you that file. Obviously it's quite a big chunky file, but with most devices these days, you know, they can handle it perfectly, and you'll get that so that you can sit and read that on your tablet without having to sort of sit there with the book and sort of mess around. So you can have it on your phone and read it at your school, your work, at home, in bed, in your chair, wherever, on the bus. You can sort of just sort of immerse yourself into these and read them as and when you want to, because you'll get that free download. So what's inside? Well, I suppose we can't really sort of go inside the book with a picture like that on the front without using the sort of time known sort of phrase in the books, in the films, where it says speak friend and enter. So the Elvish word that obviously that they use, melon, and that was going to open the doors, and that's going to open the book for us. So as you can see here, we've got this lovely sort of diagram of MORIA itself, both sort of as a thing there and also looking at it side on. But that's not all that you get, and this was quite a nice little touch that I thought when it came with the book. You've got this large map of that inside cover picture, so that you can use this as part of your reference tool when you're playing the game. So you can show your party obviously where they are, what they're doing, where they've been, that sort of thing. And then on the flip side, we've got another lovely sort of diagram here, and it's also got some bits and pieces, some handy tools for when you're playing the game. It just sort of part of the things of what, you know, can happen in the game and stuff. So again, lovely little thing that they've added into that book, and it was sitting on the inside of the back cover. So let's get started with a quick look through the book. As I say, this isn't going to be, I'm going to stop on every single page because there are over 200. So obviously you get your obligatory sort of index here at the front, with all of the sections and the chapters and the page numbers, so when you need to find something or you want to look something up, you can just sort of go here. But if you do what I've done here, I've just done this for sort of ease of saying these are the pages I want to show you in particular today. You just get these little sort of markers, these little sort of post-it notes, and you can write on those if you want, and they all sort of, you can sort of mark up what sections that are most relevant to you, whether it's for you as a game master or as a player. So again, chapter 1, the intro. So you've got things like light in the darkness, the city and the mines. So again, you've got that font that sort of draws you in, you know, is very sort of thematic for where they're setting this. You know, obviously the mines of Moria, a pivotal sort of part of the Fellowship book and films, and one of my favourite sort of scenes and sort of sections of all of the 3 books and films was this particular part of the story. So again, you know, you've got a timeline of what happened in Moria itself, so you go through that. Then you've got, obviously, you come into your other chapters, and this is where obviously it tells you more about Moria in your games and your campaign focuses and what you can do to start off your campaign and set your campaign within Moria itself. And it will tell you things that you've got within the sort of bounds of the game, and there's a lot of charts in here, but don't be put off by the amount of charts that you see. They're all really, you know, quite easy to follow, and really you do need all of this stuff, because there's a lot of things in an RPG game that you can't sort of fathom for. It's not like a set out board game where or a card game where you've got a defined set of rules. You know, an RPG by its very nature is not something that's set in stone. For Moria, that's quite good. So it's one of those things where you've got to sort of go with the flow, and they've tried to cover everything both in this and the rule books, and they've done a fantastic job, as they have done with their other systems as well. If you've seen any of either my videos or any of the videos of other people out there, other content creators. So you go through, and you know, if you're like me, you just like looking at some of the pictures in here are fantastic. You know, they're all done, they're non-colour, which I think is better than having full colour. You know, that I think this is just so much more dramatic and thematic than having all of that sort of emblazoned with colour. It's just more in keeping with what the game and what the book is about. You've got these ones that have got a bit more colour, but the actual illustrations on the actual pages of the book like that, you know, that's just, to me, is so much nicer and sort of draws you in more, and you're looking for things in it more so than if it was just sort of like a splash of colour on the page. So as I say, you've got all of these different charts which you'll use at various times. You might never use one or two of these in here, because if things don't crop up in the game, then obviously you won't need to roll the dice, but they're there just in case you need to. And you know, it'll cover hopefully every eventuality, and then you'll go from there and you'll sort of make your way through. So then we come on to chapter 4, which is all about the monsters and the sort of nasties that you'll encounter on your journey through the halls, including the Balrog, and then obviously your other foul things that you may not have seen if you've watched the films and things. Some of the things that are in this book may not well be in the actual films, but you've got all those added things here. And then obviously you can put other things in from the main book and the main thing, the main game. So you know, you're not just limited to this. You can do whatever you want within reason and within the bounds of the game. So then you've got the Dimral Dale, and then you've got the Dimral Stair. You've got obviously the pool where the Watcher was, and the door itself. That's obviously the front cover of the book and where the party in the story entered. So you know, and then you come onto these illustrations which have got these little sort of red numbered boxes, and then as you can see in here they've also got all of these sort of numbered, so you know you can see that, you know, number 2, the grand portcullis. So these pictures they've donated certain places with those numbers, and then they will give you what obviously those things are, so that you can describe them better, and also it makes it easier and things for you to use in your games. So yeah, you've got number 2, the outer hall, so you've got that there. You know, you've got 1, the road under the mountain. So, you know, you've got all of this stuff, and they've thought about it. You know, they've put these little sort of added sort of markers on the drawing, so that, you know, if you want to know what number 1 is, look at number 1 and then it will tell you exactly what that is, and you can show those pictures to your party if you so wish. You might be able to take some pictures of that yourself and sort of hand it round, just so your party knows where you are. And again, you know, these sort of really nice illustrations in the book will just help your games be more thematic and more immersive for your party, and they'll get a better thrill out of playing the game. And then obviously you've got these sort of maps of the mines here, and we can sort of flick through these pages. As I say, I'm not going to stop on every single page. There's 200 plus of these, so you know, we'd be here for hours if we just sort of showed you what was on every page. And it's nice if you're getting this copy or you're thinking about getting it, to sort of discover all of this stuff yourself, really. So you've got sort of West Moria, you know, the Lost Citadel of the Ringsmiths, the Doors of Durin. So, you know, you've got all of this stuff in here that will help you either run your own campaign or be a part of a campaign, and this book is good for both. So, you know, you can use it as a player. It's one of those where both sides of the table are going to get some use out of it, and also it's just a fantastic book. You get back towards the end of the book and you've got the appendix with Balin's expedition in there. So, you know, you've got again this picture of, you know, the party, and then you come through and then you're getting into the realms here of being able to play solo as well. So you can take just yourself, you can take a small raiding party or treasure hunting party into Moria. You can do that on your own. You roll up the characters and then you can just adventure through Moria on your own. It gives you all of the information that you're going to need to do that. You've got all of these sort of pages here where it will show you all of the different sort of character sheets and ally cards that you're going to need to play the game either solo or as part of a campaign with others. And then again you've got more of these charts, but they're not difficult to work out what these are for. It gives you everything. It tells you what your die rolls are. It gives you everything here. Some of them aren't even sort of rollable charts, they're just information. So again, more solo tools for you to play, more sort of charts and information. You've got battles, you know, the aspects of a battle, battle objectives, battle outcomes. So it gives you all of that information that you're going to need to play through a game or games of this sort of One Ring and Moria expansion. So you've got solo journey events. So, you know, as I say, they've thought of as much as I can see. They've thought as much as they can and put everything in this book that they think you're going to need. And I truly feel that just by sort of having a quick look through this myself, they haven't really missed anything. So you should be able to pick this up and simply incorporate it. If you already play the game, just incorporate this as part of your ongoing campaign. If you've already started one, you could even then incorporate this and say that, you know, you've been tasked, the party has been tasked to go to Moria and find X or get Y, or you know, maybe release somebody who's been held captive. And then obviously you come towards the end of the book and you've got again another index section here, and you've also got the character sort of sheets and things that you will need to fill in for you to play the game. And then again you've got that same picture on the inside back cover. But if you go on to the Free League site, and I've done this for you just to give you an overview again of what you can download, as well as I say, wallpapers and pictures and bits and pieces. They've got some pre-generated characters that you can use if you don't want to sit and do that yourself. For the first game, there's several in there of different races. I've just printed out the one for the dwarf, but I have printed out the character sheets, the empty ones, which we'll have a quick look at. So you've got this Regin Stonefist, their dwarf, and then this is what your character sheet is going to look like once you've sort of started that process. So this is a pre-generated character that you can literally download, print off and start a game with, and they've done that all for you. So but also, whilst you're looking at this, if you have a copy of something like this and you're trying to sort of do one yourself from scratch, then this will give you an idea of how and where things go when you fill it in, your numbers that you'll fill into these boxes, what you'll put in where your armour and your war gear and all those sorts of things. This is sort of another invaluable tool that they've done, not only to give you that kickstart where they will say, if you don't know what to do, here's one we've done earlier, but use that as a template and then you can fill these in yourselves. So each race has got a little different symbol down the bottom, whether it be elves, men, halflings, and then obviously, as you can see here, the same one as on the dwarf here. This is the dwarf sheet, so you'll fill those in and you will do your own character. And then you've got, you know, a couple of other bits and pieces here where you've got your journey log, the company, ponies and horses, your journal, where certain events have arisen in the game, you'll get to mark those down as well. There's also some errata sheets for the game. So obviously this isn't the first book that's come out, so you can download, all of these things are downloadable for free. So you've got these errata things that are constantly being updated, so you can just sort of download these and sort of substitute these bits in your book, or just keep it handy that when that particular page and section comes up, you can look at these, and these are some of the questions that may have been asked. If something in there is a little bit ambiguous or whatever, they'll have clarified these. And yeah, this is just again another invaluable tool for use within the Middle-earth One Ring gaming system. So final thoughts on Moria Through the Doors of Durin. Well, it's an epic campaign expansion that delves into Khazad-dûm for the award-winning second edition of the One Ring role-playing game by Free League Publishing, based on the worlds of J.R.R. Tolkien. It's set in the years before Balin's doomed expedition, and this supplement contains a hoard of patrons, landmarks, foes, encounters and treasures that a loremaster can use to construct their own adventures in Moria, from a single desperate journey in the dark to a grand campaign to retake Durin's halls from all of the monsters that are currently lurking there. So for long ages the great city of Dwaradolf was the seat of the Dwarven kings. They were rich beyond measure in gold and mithril, but 1,000 years ago Durin's bane, the Balrog, arose and drove the dwarves from their halls, and the city fell into darkness, becoming an abode of orcs, goblins and much, much worse. So at the end of The Hobbit, countless orcs perished in the Battle of the Five Armies, and now maybe the halls of Durin lie empty once more, and there could be piles of treasure there awaiting to be claimed. Mithril still glimmers in the mines under Caradhras, and you might find hoards of diamonds. Who knows what's going to lie in wait for you as an adventurer or a GM. So cross that dreaded threshold, adventurer. delve deep and see what you can find within MORIA. So if you already play the One Ring RPG, if you're thinking of starting out with a game, or if, like me and my friends, you simply love to read rule books, collect them, read them, or just a massive fan of all things Lord of the Rings, then this book has something for all of you. Be it an extra string to your elven bow when playing the game, or to just sit with a pipe of old Toby and immerse yourself in a wonderfully put together book that you will not be disappointed with at all. But, adventurer, you must remember that if whilst flicking through the pages of MORIA, through the doors of Durin, you start to hear the low distant beat of drums, bolt the door and get ready to fight, because they may just have a cave troll. And until we do this again, it's bye for now.